Welcome to Relax and Paint. And this morning I want to dive into something that I think is pretty peaceful, and that is a simple little landscape. And we're putzing around with a 12 flat, and we're just slip slapping and getting cute, not cute, but pretty clouds and a little bit of sand on the beach. And I'm from Florida, so it's really nice to see those beaches, and be on those beaches. But while we're thinking about them, it's nice to paint one. What do you think? All right. So I'm hoping that you have a great week and that you'll come back on Friday and watch my practice strokes so you can learn more and more of my strokes. All right. So let's get started. I'm going to go to the overhead camera and we are going to start painting this little canvas. All right. This is a little Dollar Tree canvas. It's an 8x10, and I have put some floating medium in a little container so I can use that. All right, and that's what I use instead of water. I've pulled out some colors, and I'm going to kind of tell you the colors as we go, but I want you to know that this is Prussian blue and aqua, and the clouds will have a little bit of yellow ochre in them, wicker white, then little bits of blue. But the yellow ochre is just giving a little bit of glow, like maybe from the sun. And then some of the grass and all I might have on the beach, we're just gonna start painting and see what it turns out to be, okay? Now, we always need to have horizon line. And I'm gonna use, I got a 16, a 12, we start with those. And so I'm gonna put floating medium on my 16, okay, and I'm going to work on the horizon line, and this horizon line is really going to be the darker blue, which is Prussian blue. All right, so you can decide wherever you want this line to be, but it's easier to turn it sideways and pull it towards you to get a really nice straight line. All right, so I'm going to run my little finger on the edge, and I know it's white on white right now, so hopefully you'll see this in just a few minutes. I'm going to pull here and see my little finger. I'm holding this steady with this brush, and there we go. So when you pull it towards you, this went up a little bit because I came down some here. So let me just, there we go. Let me straighten it all out there. All right, so I'm going to get some more medium, some more of the blue, the darker blue. Now the horizon line on here, I want it to be darker and darker here. So the horizon can be as high as you want it and as can go up or go way down. But it's the main line, visual line of the sunset, or it could be the top of the water, and underneath would be under the sea. But it's the line that we're going to focus on as we're doing our painting. So I'm going to now just come over here and pick up the aqua with a little bit of white. All right, I still have, this is a 16 flat, and I'm going to work that in. And see, I want the dark is way in the distance, okay? Let's get some focus on there. I was trying to focus with the white. All right, so let's go back up to the top now. This is going to be the ocean. And then I'm going to come in here while this is wet, put a little bit more white in it. All right. And so from there, we're going to start putting the top, more medium, work it in, some more blue. Now, I don't want dark blue here now. I'm going to want light blue. So what I'm going to do, see, I'm just going back and forth with this. And we're going to do some slip slapping, but I'm going to bring white in here. White and the Prussian blue will give you a really nice blue. All right, so just keep going smooth across here. And see how I'm slip slapping this kind of? Back and forth, back and forth. A little bit. So we have a paint called Pure Paint, and it's heavy bodied. It's got lots of texture in it. Now that paint would be fun on here because it would leave a lot of texture in the painting, and it's nice to leave that texture there. All right, so from this point on, I'm going to come in here with aqua and white and a little bit aqua in the sky, because believe it or not, the color in the water is a reflection from the sky. Okay. All right, now let's get some more white. See how we're just going for an illusion, little bits. The white worked in there. I keep getting some white, bringing it down in here. More white. See the little tapping I'm doing along there? That just gives you that movement along the ocean out there. So I'm going to come up close and show you what this movement is as I'm doing this. All right, so I'm going to switch to the 12. All right, so what happens, let's get some more white on here. And I'm going to go right in, picking up the white. Now I'm going to take the corner of the brush and I slap the corner of the brush to get texture. And if you're in the wet paint, then it gives you all kinds of shades of that wet paint. Or I could go slip slap with the whole brush. That's another look. Slip slap, slip slap, slip slap with the whole brush. See, flat, flat. But don't do this. It's kind of like we're on the corner going back and forth instead of sweeping the corner. So that's the difference. Some of this I sweep the corner really little, and some of this I take the corner and I slip slap back and forth on the corner. Isn't that pretty, just having some type of texture in the clouds? Okay, so see, it gives you a nice little look at there. So I'm just going to get a teeny bit of coffee latte. No, that's not the color. I wanted some yellow ochre. Sorry, wrong color. And I'm going to work this in. There we go. Now, I could start out with a little bit of this yellow. And then, because the sun would be shining through here. And then if I get carried away, which is a little much there, then I'm going to come back and just add white. So what that does is it's giving you 3 or 4 shades of the yellow instead of one darker shade. Okay. All right, so there we are. See that little bit of texture and movement. It's just kind of fun to see that. I can come back down in here again and kind of smooth out this part a little bit if I want. So some of it's smooth and some of it's slip-slapped. All right, there we go. Now let's look at this ocean. What's going to happen here is I'm going to bring some little bit of citrus into the aqua. Citrus green and aqua with white. So I'm going to work it in. It's nice if the blue is still blue, but wet, I mean, but it might not be. I'm going to grab some medium and work this in. All right, so I'm not going to put the waves and the coming up on the beach until I get the beach in. All right. So this is just a really fun little quick project. I think you'll like. I put a little bit of white with a coffee latte. So I want you to think about peaceful. Where would you like to go on a summer vacation if it's the summer? And when you're watching this, or it might be winter where you are, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the beach, right? All right, so I am working in a little bit of that coffee latte with white. A little bit of coffee latte with white and working that in. I do make the beach a little bit of a path right here. All right, so I can have some sand, a little bit like dunes, but we have some grass there. And we have a little bit of a mound over here. Can you see that? There we go. I'm just going to rub this out a little bit. So you have to have dark to see light. So if you put a little bit of this in here, and then we come back and add little bits of white here, like a path. All right, so the path kind of looks like it goes like that and off, right? So I do like to just put some strokes of white here and there. See how that gives you, like you're being artistic. Okay, so we get a little bit of water up here. See how I have a lot of white in it? So that just means the water's come up a little bit with some waves. Okay, so now you have a peacefulness, but now I want to come in here with just a little bit of white, and I'm going to sputter this across here. So I kind of lay it down. Just little bits of water splashing. And so if you come along here, lay the brush down. And you're going side to side, do you see that? We put a little bit heavier waves over here. And we're just going for effect, see that? Just looks like a little bit of splashing waves. You feeling that? All right, so because we have a little bit of yellow up there, we're going to put a little bit of yellow down here in the water. Just a little bit, because it just makes it all come down. And then I want to put some burnt umber and coffee latte And we're just going to put a little underline. That is not showing up. There we go. The last little thing we do on here is put a little bit of brown on each side. And I'm going to take a rake brush. A rake brush is fun. You can get those on onestroke.com. Nice little rake brush. And we're going to pick up some citrus and sap with that rake. The rake brush just has a few little bristles. Let you show it on here. See a few little bristles? Okay, so if we come right here, I'm going to pick up a little bit of sap because I only had a little bit of citrus. Now that's how you can just get a little bit, or you can come up on the chisel of this brush and get a little bit more. All right. And you can also come in here like this and tap in some greens. See a little bit of tapping? So I can also put a little bit of that in here. Okay, but so we get really light and we're really easy pulling. There we go. Little fun little project, quick and easy. The only thing I can tell you that I think you need is a little bit of blue here. So those are just some little tips and tricks that will help you. I'm going to come back in and add just a little bit of blue in here. All right, because it's still a little damp. We can put a little bit in there. Okay, there we go. See the difference that little bit of blue just did? Put a little bit of white to blend it in. And there's our sweet little beach scene. All right, thank you. See you next week.